disturbed during these reflections by any phone calls. But it's a great pleasure to be here at this inaugural memorial event to the memory of Abdul Quddus. We've heard from Archie already what a fantastic song it was, and it's been explained by a friend over there what it means in translation about people getting over their fears and people not being shy. I remember very well earlier this year the event held at the other side of Leeds, where we celebrated Abdul's life and his contribution. And his life and his contribution were absolutely immense. And whether people are religious or whether they're non-religious, I think we can all agree that Abdul lives on. He certainly lives on in the sense that his good works have inspired so many people here in Leeds and across the country to do good things themselves. I've lost count of the number of people here in Leeds who I've spoken to who have had their lives changed by Abdul. How? Abdul encouraged them and empowered them. And that really is at the core, in my opinion, of Abdul's greatness. Because Abdul wasn't about himself, he was about others. There's lots of people out there that are just about themselves, I'm afraid. And some of them become famous, some of them become rich, some of them are viewed as great successes. But the real wealth and the real success and the real greatness is what you leave behind in terms of changing the lives of others for the better. And that's what Abdul did. Abdul certainly inspired me, and I learnt a lot from him. And it was so sad when he passed. But I think this is a really important event, and I do hope it continues each and every year here at the Bangladeshi Centre, in which of course Abdul played such an important role in bringing people together here to secure the future of the centre. A few words about some of the reasons that Abdul inspired me. As it says here, Abdul was a social activist, an educationalist, an inspiring leader, and of course a humanist as well. Something that always made a strong impression with me was Abdul's principled internationalism. He cared about the human rights of people here in this country, but the human rights of people right across the world. I will always remember his comments about the struggle against apartheid in South Africa, the struggle for human rights around the world. He was a great student of history, whether it be the history of the Cuban Revolution, the history of Bangladesh, the history of progressive movements around the world. But he wasn't just a historian, he actually made history happen. His activism was so crucial, in my opinion, to the person he was and the impression he made. He campaigned against nuclear weapons. He campaigned in support of the miners in the famous 1984 to 85 miners' strike. So he was on the side of peace, on the side of human rights, on the side of the working class in all its diversity. And he encouraged others, as I say, and there can be no greater role in life than that. Someone once said that the role of being a teacher, and I mean that with a small t, I don't necessarily mean someone who had a profession of teaching in the school, well that of course is very important. Someone who lives their life as a teacher is someone who is performing one of the most important roles of all in our community. And Abdul really did teach people, didn't he? He taught people to have confidence in themselves. He taught people to find what mattered to them and find how they could make a contribution. Because all too often in our society, people are told that their voices don't matter. People are told that you can't make a difference. Especially, I'm afraid, people from minority backgrounds are taught that in the media, who try to marginalise people, scapegoat people, make people feel that their voices don't count. One of Abdul's great lessons to us all was that everyone's voice counts, and what a contribution he made. And so I look at that photo of Abdul, and it makes me smile. And it feels as if he's with us today, as I'm sure he is. His memory will live on. He will live on in the deeds that he did and in the deeds of those in our city and more widely that he encouraged and empowered. I took great inspiration from Abdul. I know that all of you did. And it's a real honour to be here with you all to say these few words in tribute to Abdul. And I want to pass my condolences, of course, and respects to Abdul's family. And it's wonderful to see them still active in the community. I know they miss him. We all miss him. And so let's resolve each and every single year to come together to remember Abdul and his contribution, but to resolve as well each and every single day to do things which would make Abdul proud, to carry on his work through our work, and to honour his memory through the good deeds we do in our community. Abdul, Quddus, we love you dearly, we miss you dearly, and it's wonderful to be with you today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much indeed.